Imagine earning $20 million this year as a lead actor.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Right. But here's the catch. Without actually releasing a single drama, like nothing.
Yeah, that sounds like a glitch in the Matrix.
Exactly. It sounds totally impossible. But in 2025, that is exactly the architecture of modern fame. So, okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a really fascinating rundown to look at today, which is the 10 highest paid Chinese drama stars of 2025.
It is a wild list.
It really is. Because, our mission today isn't just to list off a bunch of rich celebrities. We really want to decode the modern architecture of fame and wealth. Like, how are these stars actually making their money?
Right, because the definition of an actor has just completely transformed.
Yeah, when we usually think about how an actor makes a living, we picture this very straightforward, almost factory line process. You audition, you memorize the lines, you shoot the project, and then you get a paycheck.
Very linear exchange, yeah. Time and talent for money.
Exactly. But looking at these sources today, that traditional model looks completely obsolete. These aren't just people getting huge movie salaries anymore. They are essentially walking multi-industry corporations.
They really are. We are witnessing the death of the paper gig actor. It's just gone.
Wow, the death of the paper gig actor.
Yeah, because talent is no longer the actual product. Talent is merely the baseline now. It's just the entry fee required to build an economic engine.
Okay, so if the acting is just the entry fee, where is the real money coming from?
Well, the real wealth, the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars we're analyzing today, it comes from incredibly diverse income streams and a level of extreme mobilized fan loyalty that operates totally outside the traditional studio system.
Which is exactly why this deep dive is for you, the listener, even if you have never watched a single episode of a Chinese drama in your life.
Right, because the business mechanics are universal.
Totally. What we are really talking about today is a masterclass in personal branding, audience capture, and just modern business strategy. The blueprints these stars are using, they apply far beyond just the entertainment industry.
Absolutely.
So to really understand this new wealth, let's start at the bottom of the top 10 list, because this is where we see how the traditional path to acting fame has been completely rewritten. Let's look at number 10, Liu Yuning.
Oh, his story is fascinating.
It's incredible. He is pulling in tens of millions of dollars, starring in major 2025 hit dramas like The Prisoner of Beauty. But his origin story just completely shatters the old Hollywood mold.
Right. He didn't do the traditional route at all.
Not even close. He didn't go to some elite drama school and just wait around for a casting director to notice him. He started as a street singer.
A literal street performer, yeah.
And a live stream performer. Like, he was just singing on the street and broadcasting it online.
Which, honestly, that trajectory represents a fundamental shift in how risk is calculated in the entertainment industry today.
Oh, I like that. What do you mean by how risk is calculated?
Well, historically, studios held all the power, right?
Oh.
Because they controlled the distribution. They alone decided who became a star and who didn't. They took the financial risk on an unknown actor.
Right, you hope the audience likes them.
Exactly. But Liu Yuning utilized a direct-to-consumer model. By building an audience directly on the streets and through his digital live streams, he bypassed the gatekeepers entirely. Studios.
That is brilliant. He de-risked himself. And I guess once you do that, once you build that audience on your own terms, you kind of change Wang.
Yes, perfect example.
So he had this massive global explosion in...
You don't generate revenue. No movie, no paycheck.
Right, that's the factory line we talked about.
Exactly. But Wang's current earning power proves that
whether they drop a new show you actually watch that month or not, you are just subscribed to the ecosystem.
Your
cold but charming image combined with his massive social media influence is enough to just keep an insurance policy. How so?
Well, think about it. A high-budget drama can totally flop to an established cultural fixture.
That makes total sense. They're making themselves permanent.
Right. They are aggressive.
From the $20 and $30 million range up to the $40 and $50 million plus powerhouses, we see what happens when that brand scales aggressively into entirely different industries.
This is where the numbers get really massive.
Yeah, we are looking at number 6, Yang Yang, and number 4, Shu Kai, both hovering around $40 to $45 million.
Huge jumps in net worth here.
Yeah, and the sources say Yang Yang dominates this cool Prince aesthetic with elite visuals, he used a high-budget 2025 fantasy drama comeback to secure massive, massive endorsement deals.
Right, reestablishing his dominance.
Exactly. And then Zhu Kai, he dominates the Gen Z demographic through just sheer consistency in historical dramas, starting all the way back with Story of Yangtze Palace.
Right, and that jump from 30 million to 45 million, it requires absolute dominance in a specific, highly lucrative demographic, like Gen Z.
Why is Gen Z so lucrative for them?
Because engaging Gen Z isn't just about viewership numbers. It translates to high-volume digital microtransactions, fast fashion partnerships, and the kind of hyperactive digital engagement rates that premium brands will pay a huge premium to associate with.
So it's about how the fans spend, not just how they watch.
Exactly. Zhu Kai's consistency keeps him right at the center of that specific algorithmic bubble.
Okay, that makes sense for dominating a demographic. But then we look at number 5, Wang Yibo, sitting at an estimated $45 million net worth, and number 3, Xiao Zhan, at over $50 million.
The heavy hitters from the Untamed.
Yes. Both of their careers completely exploded globally after that drama, The Untamed. Xiao Zhan used that to build one of the largest fan bases in all of Asia, dominating major 2025 productions and acting as a top global influencer.
His reach is just unparalleled.
It is, but Wang Yibo's portfolio, this is where I really have to pause.
What caught your eye?
Okay, he dominates acting, music, fashion, and motorsports.
Oh, yes. The racing.
Wait, motorsports. He is making serious money racing cars. At what point do these individuals stop being drama stars and just become lifestyle conglomerates?
Honestly, they stop being merely drama stars the moment they successfully execute a classic top-of-funnel conversion.
Top-of-funnel conversion. Break that down for us.
Sure. Think of a mega-hit drama like The Untamed. It casts a massive, wide net, capturing millions and millions of casual viewers. That's the top of the funnel.
Okay, so they have all these eyeballs on them.
Right. But the true genius of stars like Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, and the reason their wealth totally eclipses their peers, is their conversion rate.
Getting people from the funnel to the wallet.
Exactly. They successfully pull those casual drama viewers down into high-margin, hyper-niche lifestyle products.
Wow. I look at Wang Yibo's strategy, and it's honestly like he has built the Apple ecosystem.
Oh, that's a great comparison.
Right. Like, The Untamed was his iPhone release. It was the shiny, accessible hardware that got everyone into his specific ecosystem in the first place.
Everyone bought the iPhone.
Everyone bought it. But once the fans are in the ecosystem, they aren't just waiting around for a year to buy another phone.
No, they're buying the accessories.
Exactly. They are buying the AirPods, they are subscribing to Apple Music, they are getting the Apple Watch. For Wang Yibo, his acting is the hardware. It gets you in the door. But his music, his fashion lines, and his motorsports career, those are the high-margin software services.
Yes. He has entirely monetized his personhood.
Monetized his personhood. That is wild.
And that ecosystem analogy is highly accurate because it highlights the decoupling of earning power from physical time constraints.
Oh, because he can only be in so many places at once.
Precisely. An actor, no matter how talented or sought after they are, is bound by the laws of physics. They can only shoot 2, maybe 3 high-quality dramas in a single year. Their active labor has a hard cap.
Right, there are only so many hours in a day.
But a lifestyle ecosystem, that generates revenue 24 hours a day. Fans will stream the music, they'll buy the fashion collaborations, and they'll purchase the motorsports merchandise, regardless of whether Wang Yibo is currently on a film set or sleeping.
So the drama is really just the commercial.
Yes, the drama is simply the overarching advertising campaign for the business of being Wang Yibo.
That is just, it's mind-blowing. And Xiao Zhan is doing the exact same thing on an international scale, leveraging that massive Asian fan base to become a top global influencer.
And brands love that global reach.
Yeah, the sources make it clear that brands are paying him for his sheer reach and his cultural gravity, not necessarily his ability to memorize a script.
Right, the acting is almost secondary to the influence.
It's the ultimate evolution of the influencer economy, but it's scaled up to the level of traditional A-list prestige.
It creates a really fascinating hybrid. They possess the critical acclaim and the prestige of a serious, working actor, combined with the raw, algorithmic conversion power of a mega influencer.
And that combo is basically a license to print money.
Oh, absolutely. That dual identity commands the highest possible premium in the 2025 market.
Okay, so we have tracked the evolution of this wealth from the street performer pipeline through the gap year subscription model, all the way up to these $50 million lifestyle ecosystems.
It's quite a climb.
It is. But then we hit the top 2 names on this list, and here is where the financial architecture just completely fractures.
Yes, the scale totally changes here.
The numbers do not just go up incrementally, they explode into a totally different stratosphere. Number 2 is Andy Lau. He is a living legend with over 40 years in the industry, and his estimated net worth is $200 million.
$200 million.
And taking the number 1 spot is Jackie Chan, with an estimated net worth of $400 million.
Which is just a staggering amount of wealth. $400 million represents a qualitative shift in how money is generated. It is no longer about maximizing an annual salary.
Actually, I have to challenge the premise of our own source material here.
Oh, go for it.
Well, the list we are analyzing today is titled The 10 Highest Paid Chinese Drama Stars of 2025. But are Jackie Chan and Andy Lau even playing the same game as Dylan Wang or Wang Yibo?
That's a very fair question.
It feels like we are comparing a really hot, newly minted tech startup that just had a great IPO to a century-old multinational bank. Like, they might technically be on the same list of wealthy entities, but they are not in the same business anymore, are they?
No, you're exactly right. And the comparison to a multinational bank is really apt because it highlights the profound structural difference between liquid income and institutional assets.
Okay, liquid income versus assets. Break that down.
Well, the actors we discussed from numbers 10 through 3, they are currently in their peak earning phase. They are utilizing viral popularity, current cultural relevance, and digital fan bases to generate massive yearly cash flow.
They're making a ton of cash right now.
Yes, they are catching lightning in a bottle, and they are monetizing it brilliantly. But Andy Lau and Jackie Chan, they represent the power of generational longevity. They're not simply earning anymore. They have spent decades allocating capital and compounding wealth.
Compounding wealth, right, because Andy Lau has a 40-year head start. That is 4 decades of taking peak earning paychecks and putting them to work.
Exactly. And if we look at the specific mechanisms driving those top 2 valuations, it always comes back to massive business investments.
It's not just movie paychecks.
Not at all.
Yeah.
True, staggering wealth.
Yeah.
That $200 to $400 million tier, it requires transcending the entertainment industry entirely. You cannot act your way to $400 million.
No matter how many endorsement deals you sign.
Right. You have to invest your way there.
So while the younger idols are monetizing their personal hobbies, like the motorsports or the fashion collaborations, the legacy icons are monetizing structural assets.
Heavy infrastructure.
Right. They're buying production companies, they're acquiring global real estate, and they're building these broad market investment portfolios.
And Jackie Chan holds that number 1 spot because he achieved something uniquely difficult. He created a structural advantage that is almost impossible to replicate today.
What's that?
He achieved true global crossover between Chinese cinema and Hollywood.
Oh, right. He's a household name everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And that global footprint allowed him to secure decades of worldwide endorsements on just regional ones and funnel that immense diversified capital into massive business empires. He shifted his wealth generation from active labor to capital allocation.
The younger stars are relying on the intense, almost feverish devotion of digital fan bases, which, that requires constant maintenance and digital engagement.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
Yeah, they have to feed the algorithm constantly. But the veterans, they are relying on the fact that they are permanently woven into the cultural fabric of multiple generations across the globe.
Exactly. It is the difference between dominating a current trend and becoming a financial institution.
I love that, becoming a financial institution.
Because an institution's value compounds, regardless of daily virality. Jackie Chan and Andy Lau, they do not need to trend on social media in 2025 to maintain their net worth.
They don't need to go viral on TikTok today.
No, their assets generate wealth entirely independently of their cultural visibility.
Wow. So bringing this all together for you, the listener, we have gone on quite a journey today, decoding the architecture of modern fame and wealth.
We covered a lot of ground.
We really did. We started with the democratization of stardom, seeing how a street performer like Liu Yuning utilized direct-to-consumer digital platforms to completely bypass the traditional studio gatekeepers.
Bypassing the system entirely.
Right. And then we examine the subscription model of Dylan Wang, who proved that high brand equity can generate $20 million without even releasing a new physical product.
The gap year millions, yeah.
Then we explored the multi-hyphenate lifestyle ecosystems of Wang Yibo and Zhan, who decoupled their earning power from their acting schedules to hit $50 million.
Turning into human corporation.
Exactly. And finally, we analyzed the legacy icons Andy Lau and Jackie Chan, who demonstrated that the ultimate financial peak comes from transitioning away from active labor and into decades of compounding global investments.
And, the overarching lesson from this entire financial architecture is the absolute necessity of diversification.
Diversification is key.
It really is. Whether you are an actor navigating the entertainment industry, or a corporate employee plotting your career, or an entrepreneur building a business relying on a single stream of income or a single skill set, is a profoundly fragile strategy today.
It's just too risky.
Way too risky. The individuals who are truly thriving, they view their core talent simply as the top of the funnel. It's just the foundation for a much wider ecosystem. You must build the brand, capture the audience, and relentlessly diversify the revenue.
Relentlessly diversify. Which leaves me with a final lingering thought for you to chew on. These stars are absolutely redefining success today. But let's project this trajectory forward a bit.
Looking into the future. Okay.
If a star like Dylan Wang can make $20 million in a single year without even releasing a drama, relying entirely on his brand equity and his highly engaged subscribers, what does the entertainment billionaire of tomorrow look like?
That is a fascinating question.
Right. Let's say in the year 2035. Will the number one earner even need to act on screen at all? Or will their brand, their licensed digital likeness, their curated aesthetic, their autonomous lifestyle empire that generate hundreds of millions of dollars entirely on its own, completely detached from the very human being who started it all?
I mean, when the brand fully eclipses the human art, the economic possibilities, and honestly, the questions about what it even means to be an entertainer, they become limitless.
Limitless. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the true business of stardom. We encourage you to look at your own professional life and ask, what does your personal ecosystem look like? Are you relying on a single paycheck, or are you building a brand that compounds? Catch you next time.